and greet Maverick City, Kirk Franklin, and Jim Godfrey. Make sure not to miss out on the Kingdom World Tour by visiting Gwenda.co today to secure your spot. See you there.
Good afternoon and welcome to the news on Zodiac. The Malawi Congress Party MCP Convention Steering Committee says President Lazarus Chakwera will go unopposed on the presidential seat at the elective convention slated for 8 August 2024. Committee Chairperson Kezi Msukwa has told Zodiac out of over 100 nominations they have received for various positions, no candidate has expressed interest to compete with President Chakwera on the top seat. But political analyst George Piri, while commending the party for opening up in other positions, says what the party officials did to endorse President Chakwera has prevented other people from contesting on the presidential seat. Franklin Tambaliga has filed this report.
The steering committee for the August 8 MCP convention started receiving nomination papers from candidates from July 1 and closed on 24 July 2024. The committee's chairperson Kezi Msukwa says over 100 nomination papers have been received from candidates vying for various positions in the party except for that of the president. Msukwa believes that such is the case because people have agreed to give President Chakwera another chance.
We have received in excess of 100 nomination papers on the top directorate positions. This is commendable according to us. We are still segmenting to see how many are females, how many are males, and at the same time, we are also waiting how many are youths, as we can call it.
Commenting on the development, political analyst George Piri says it would have been democratic if the MCP had created a fair playing ground.
It is not democratic to have endorsed the president and you call for submission of nomination. That is not right and that is not democratic. If you have endorsed, you have endorsed. The reason for calling for nomination on the position which you have endorsed is cruel.
According to the MCP Convention Steering Committee, eligible candidates will be known by Thursday next week after a thorough scrutiny of the submitted nomination papers.
The Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiative, CDEDI, has vowed to proceed with its vigil at Capitol Hill until Secretary to Treasury Dr. Bechani Chereni apologizes to Malawians. Dr. Chereni is reported to have said in a viral clip that Malawians should stop intimidating and blackmailing leaders, which angered CDEDI, describing the remarks as impunity and executive arrogance. Leah Marekano reports.
According to Lilongwe District Commissioner Lawford Palani, the public servant in question, Mr. Bechani Chereni, is apologetic and ready to engage CDEDI on the way forward.
Before we met as stakeholders, I contacted the one that is very much interested to engage with CDEDI. We make sure that we respect the Constitution because it's their constitutional right. So in this case, we are waiting to hear after what will happen after the meeting.
While expressing interest in meeting Chereni, CDEDI Executive Director Sylvester Namiwa says the only way they can cancel the demonstrations is for Chereni to apologize.
I would like to assure Malawians that the clock is still ticking. Our demands still stands. He should withdraw his careless sentiments or else he should resign. Therefore, since we are the voice of the voiceless, I would like to confirm our availability for the said engagement meeting, but all the preparations are still ongoing up until such a time when he sees fit to make a public apology.
Earlier, Chereni said that he already addressed the issue and apologized in a response to CDEDI. CDEDI demanded an apology from Chereni or resign over his alleged remarks that accused Malawians of blackmailing the government. For Zodiac in Lilongwe, I am Leah Marekano.
The World Bank has challenged the Malawi government to continue embracing policies that could address the current macroeconomic situation triggered by devaluation of the kwacha and other external shocks. Nathan Beliti, World Bank Country Director for Malawi, Tanzania, Zambia and Zimbabwe, has told Zodiac that despite the challenges, Malawi government has tried to establish integrated systems to protect the poor. Gender Minister Jean Sendeza is however optimistic that the government interventions such as the social cash transfer program will address challenges facing Malawians. Dixon Chivwati Gondo reports.
The World Bank boss for the four countries, Nathan Beleti, says most Malawians are facing challenges due to difficult business environment which has affected investment and entrepreneurship. Beleti is confident that proper public policies can revive the country's economy, which can also bail out vulnerable Malawians from economic hardships.
In times like this, when you have macroeconomic pressures and external shocks such as the drought, there's urgent actions that need to be taken. Obviously, one of those is continued fiscal consolidation, looking at government expenditures and seeing where expenditures can be cut so as to save and create some more fiscal space.
Minister of Gender Jean Sendeza says government is on a strategy to ensure that Malawians are not affected with hunger following El Nino-induced weather conditions.
The social cash transfer is the best way to go, and there is need to do more. And in doing more, we have to learn, because in the report we have seen that our colleagues in Zambia, in Mozambique, they were in the same situation as we are in, as we are talking, but they have moved a step forward. So we have to learn from our colleagues on how they have done.
The 19th edition of the World Bank Malawi Economic Monitor Report has suggested the implementation of macro-fiscal reforms to ensure the success of external debt restructuring and containing the growth of domestic borrowing. Dixon Chivwati Gondwe, Zodiac News, Lirongwe.
The Next Generation Leaders Association has made fresh calls for political parties and other electoral stakeholders to consider youth inclusion ahead of the 2025 general elections. Speaking at a media briefing in Lirongwe, National Advocacy Director Charles Dokera says the youth have a critical role in attaining the country's development aspirations, hence the call.
Knowing that MEC is now going towards the implementation of their plans and their preparations as we go to general elections in 2025. I think the call is coming after a thorough study that over the years, youth inclusion in political spaces has only been confined to voting alone. And because of frustrations which have been registered multiple times, most young people, if we look at the scholarly studies like the Afrobarometer, there is likelihood of voter apathy because of frustrations and disillusionment due to unrealized political promises. So due to that, we thought it necessary that as far as democratic societies are concerned, we only vote or usher in new leadership if we all participate.
Expectant women around Mangomba and Kapeni area in Blantyre complain that they are struggling to get services, with statistics indicating that 12% of them deliver at home. Nursing officer at Limbi Health Center, Grace Yakobe, told journalists that several of the women are reluctant to start antenatal care and others delivering on the way to hospital because of long distance to the facility. Christopher Sander reports from Blantyre.
A 13 kilometers distance from Mangomba to Limbi Health Center is making pregnant women to abscond antenatal services, with others delivering at home or on their way to the facility. A pregnant woman, Tianjane Kansunje, from Mangomba village and group village headman Mangomba, have asked the government and development partners to construct a health center in order to reduce the challenges that they are experiencing. Nursing officer in charge for Limbi Health Center, Grace Yakobe, thinks enhancement of outreach services and construction of a new facility can assist to improve the situation.
Out of 100 women, 12 women would deliver at home, which is an alarming figure. We want every woman to be attended by a skilled, healthy attendant at the hospital, because we want to prevent the complications that do arise due to childbirth. One of the challenges that Mangomba is facing is the distance itself.
Meanwhile, Deputy Country Director of SEED Global Health, Pachalo Machere, and Associate Professor Yusula Kafulafula from Kamuzu University of Health Sciences said they will continue to support Limbi Health Center to ensure that pregnant women are giving life in a conducive environment. The sentiments were made during the maternity open day and outreach services at Mangomba village under Kapeni in Blantyre. Reporting for Zodiac, this is Christopher Sande.
You're watching the news on Zodiac with me, Chance Mozabanda. We'll be back after this break.
Life moves fast, and so should your packages. Say goodbye to waiting and hello to convenience with Post Courier, your go-to courier service. When you choose Post Courier, you're choosing speed, reliability, and peace of mind. I can always count on Post Courier for quick and safe deliveries. They never let me down.
Welcome back. The headlines as we continue, which provides for arrests at public places at night on assumption that the suspects have sinister motives. Committee Chairperson Peter Dimba says this is in respect to the court order which declared the section unconstitutional and ordered for its review. Deputy Police Spokesperson Harry Namaza has told us that police already stopped arresting people using the said section. Kasimobi reports.
Chairperson of the Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament, Peter Dimba, says the committee is worried that police continue to arrest people using the rogue and vagabond law, which was declared unconstitutional by the courts, which further ordered the review of the same. Meanwhile, the committee has commenced a review of Section 184, subsection 1C of the Penal Code as ordered by High Court Judge Zomwe in 2022 that Parliament and the Ministry of Justice should facilitate the review of the law.
As Legal Affairs Committee, we began to drive this process, engaging the Ministry of Justice to make sure that we review Section 184 of the Penal Code and, of course, other relevant pieces of legislation, other gaps regarding the vagrancy law.
On Thursday, the committee met Law Commission to get their input on the review process. Law Commissioner Rosemary Kanyuka, while indicating that it is not the Commission's mandate to conduct a review of mere sections of the law, said law enforcers should also learn to apply the law appropriately. In a separate interview, Deputy Police Spokesperson Harry Namaza said police already stopped arresting people using the section in question.
Since the judgment was given by the court, we stopped using that section as per the judgment or the ruling which was made by the court. Normally, we are the law enforcers. We don't make laws. So if there's a ruling from the court, we are duty bound to abide by any ruling or judgment from the court. So as of now, we no longer use that.
The Constitutional Court in 2017 declared that Section 184, subsection 1C of the Penal Code is unconstitutional, and in 2022, High Court Judge Justice Zomwe ordered Parliament and Ministry of Justice to review the law. For Zodiac in Lilongwe, this is Kasim Aubi reporting.
The National Planning Commission has implored players in the banking sector to expand areas of doing business if the banks are to grow and contribute effectively to the country's development vision, amid observation that most banks prefer to lend money to the government alone. Dr. Thomas Mundhali made the remarks last night in Lilongwe when Standard Bank launched the inaugural Growth Conversations, a platform established to allow different players in the economy give their ideas on how the country can grow economically.
So I think what is very important first is that these conversations are about growth. And you and I know that for the country we've embarked on a journey to the Malawi 2063, which requires at least that we should have been growing by something like 6% plus. And we've not managed to do that for a number of reasons, including the exogenous shocks that have been hitting the country. But central to it also was to say, okay, apart from the exogenous shocks, what kind of conversations should we be having as key stakeholders? And so the role that Standard Bank has done was to bring together key stakeholders from various sectors, including government officials, to say, look, what is at the center of this, and how do we grow the economy more given this context?
And Standard Bank Chief Executive Officer Philip Madinga says navigating today's global challenges requires committed and purpose-driven leadership and foresight, hence the launch of the platform.
I think the challenge we have, not just for Standard Bank, but for the rest of the private sector and the banking community, is to find ways where we can actually identify opportunities in the economic sectors or in areas that can have an impact. Some of those are very aligned to the MW 2063, which is agriculture, industrialization, the 3 pillars, but also urbanization. But some are very specific now because they are circumstantial, in line with what government is looking at as the priorities that it could start focusing on, which is the ATM strategy. I understand now it's ATM squared strategy, which is agriculture, tourism, mining, but we are adding manufacturing to that. So as Standard Bank, as we've showcased this evening, as we've showcased at many forums, we do support infrastructure development. You've seen the Kenyatta Drive and Nzimba Street that we've supported with a syndicated facility of 31.5 billion.
On the business front, Nokia phone brand, which vanished from the market in Malawi years ago, is back with the manufacturing company, promising new services to improve the telecommunications sector in the country. Human Mobile Devices HMD Malawi launched the phone brand in Lilongwe last evening. Its global head of operations, Usman Shahid, says Nokia, which used to be a household gadget in the country, remains durable and affordable.
We are bringing European quality mobile phones to Malawi. We are bringing phones which will last longer, which have high performance. They can enjoy true quality, European quality at the right price here in Malawi. We have an official setup now in Malawi so that people have after-sales service, so that people have all the devices which we are manufacturing and they can enjoy a true European quality in Malawi. These phones which we are bringing have a self-repair capability. We want the consumers to get the best of their money which they're spending. The phones are made to last longer. We are available at every price point. Whatever your budget is, we are there. We want to start from mid-range, we want to start from low-end, we want to go higher. We are there to cater to the need of all the people or everyone, depending on their budget they can.
In other news, police are investigating the abduction and murder of Zambia's newly appointed broadcasting regulator chief. Guntila Mleya's body was discovered on the outskirts of the capital Lusaka yesterday with gunshot wounds. His death has shocked people, especially as the motive is unknown and as gun violence is not common in Zambia. Police believe the Director General of the Independent Broadcasting Authority IBA was kidnapped after leaving work on Tuesday. When Mr. Mleya failed to return home on Tuesday night, his family alerted the police and began to search for him. And that's what we had time for in this edition of the news. Before we go, a look at the headlines. MCP Convention Steering Committee says Malawi.com for more. On behalf of the team, I am Chancellor Mozovanda. Good afternoon.
Yogawa Bungwe la Chewa Heritage Foundation chefo lukukwita nani nonse kumwambo wa chaka chino wa Chewa womuzachitike loweluka pa 3 August 2024 m'mudzi mwa Msampha tiye chata kuyambira 7 koloko mmawa mpaka 5 koloko madzulo. Cholinga cha mwambo ndikutsegulira malo yomwe chefo yakula. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri lankhulani ndi a chairman wa organizing committee Dr. Sefren Kumura pa 0999-878-855 kapena mneneri wa chefo Ajime Chikuni pa 0999-218-116. Tieni tonse